Ladies and gentlemen, today we are diving into one of the strangest machines ever to wear a Volkswagen badge. Imagine a vehicle that looked like it could spend the morning crossing a muddy battlefield, the afternoon floating across a river, and the evening parked outside a village bakery without anyone questioning it. That sounds impossible, yet the Volkswagen Schwimmwagen really existed. It was part military tool, part engineering experiment, and part floating beetle that somehow became one of the most fascinating collectibles in automotive history. The Schwimmwagen was developed in Germany during the Second World War under Volkswagen's wartime production program. Designed primarily by Ferdinand Porsche's engineering team and based on the proven Volkswagen Type 82Q Belgian platform, the vehicle officially became the Type 166, replacing the earlier Type 128 prototype. Military commanders required a compact machine capable of crossing rivers without bridges, navigating muddy terrain, and transporting personnel through environments where ordinary trucks quickly became stranded. Instead of carrying boats alongside vehicles, engineers combined both ideas into a single machine. Production of the Type 166 began in 1942 at the Volkswagen factory in Volkswagen. Roughly 14 Zalod examples were completed before production ended in 1944, making it the most produced amphibious car ever built. Despite that impressive figure, surviving vehicles are surprisingly scarce because many were destroyed during combat, abandoned during retreats, or dismantled after the war. Collectors estimate that only several hundred authentic examples remain worldwide, with significantly fewer still retaining matching components and documented ownership histories. The example known as the 1947 Volkswagen Schwimmwagen Amphibious coachwork carries an especially remarkable story. Unlike restored military vehicles that changed owners countless times, this particular Schwimmwagen reportedly remained in the same family's ownership from 1947 onward. That uninterrupted provenance dramatically increases both historical importance and collector appeal. Vehicles with documented ownership stretching back nearly 8 decades are exceptionally uncommon, particularly those connected with the difficult post-war years when many surplus military vehicles disappeared into agricultural work or were simply scrapped for usable metal. Mechanically, the Schwimmwagen remained brilliantly simple because complexity is usually the first thing to surrender when mud reaches your knees. Power came from Volkswagen's familiar rear-mounted, air-cooled flat-4 engine displacing approximately 431 cubic centimeters, producing around 25 horsepower. Those numbers may not impress modern performance enthusiasts, but the vehicle weighed only about 2,000 pounds, or roughly 910 kilograms, allowing respectable off-road mobility. Power reached all 4 wheels through a 4-speed manual transmission combined with portal gear reductions and selectable 4-wheel drive. Even more unusual, the driver could engage a propeller mounted at the rear for water travel without leaving the seat. The sealed monocoque body functioned as the hull itself, eliminating the need for a separate boat structure. Steering in water relied primarily on turning the front wheels, which acted like rudders, while the propeller supplied forward motion. On calm water, the Schwimmwagen could reach about 6 miles per hour, approximately 10 kilometers per hour, while road speeds approached 50 miles per hour, or around 80 kilometers per hour under favorable conditions. Timmy once insisted his fishing boat needed 4-wheel drive, just in case the lake got slippery. Nobody had the heart to explain physics before his third drink. Independent suspension using torsion bars gave surprisingly competent performance across rough terrain, while hydraulic drum brakes provided dependable stopping power considering the vehicle's modest speed, measuring roughly 150 inches or 382 centimeters in length, just under 59 inches or 150 centimeters in width, and standing approximately 63 inches or 160 centimeters tall with the windshield raised. The Schwimmwagen remained compact enough to maneuver through forests, narrow roads, and temporary military crossings. Its folding propeller, waterproof drivetrain seals, and ingenious body construction demonstrated that practical engineering often becomes most creative when facing extraordinary challenges. Beyond its unusual mechanical layout, the Schwimmwagen represented a fascinating design philosophy. Every curve of its body served a purpose. The rounded hull helped it move through water, while the flat floor and compact proportions made repairs easier under difficult field conditions. The folding windshield reduced height for transport, and almost every component reflected the military demand for reliability rather than luxury. There was no unnecessary decoration, only practical engineering that quietly proved good design does not always need chrome or extravagant styling. Bob, my conspiracy-loving neighbor, still insists the shape was secretly inspired by alien submarines. I reminded him that aliens probably would have installed air conditioning before intergalactic travel. Driving one today is less about speed and more about experiencing a moving piece of history. Owners often describe the transition from road to water as unforgettable because very few classic vehicles can literally continue the journey after the pavement ends. It is impossible not to smile while watching a car calmly float away from the shoreline. Even toxic neighbors suddenly become friendly when they realize your parking spot can also become a boat dock. Compared with other military vehicles of the 1940s, the Schwimmwagen occupied a category almost entirely by itself. The American Ford GPA attempted a similar concept, but proved heavier and less capable in difficult terrain. Conventional Jeeps excelled on land, but required bridges or ferries whenever deep rivers appeared. Volkswagen's solution balanced compact dimensions, respectable off-road capability, and genuine amphibious performance better than most competitors of the era. That remarkable versatility explains why collectors around the world continue searching for original examples with documented histories. Vehicles retaining factory components, original body panels, and continuous ownership records command the strongest interest at prestigious auctions. The Schwimmwagen also built a reputation through period photographs, wartime reports, and surviving factory brochures showing the vehicle crossing rivers that would stop ordinary transport. Many stories have grown into legends over the decades, yet the engineering itself is impressive enough without exaggeration. Enthusiasts appreciate that it remains one of the very few military vehicles whose mechanical simplicity still allows careful restoration and occasional demonstration drives. Timmy once claimed he could improve the design with cup holders and a karaoke machine. Considering he has been divorced several times, perhaps vehicle engineering should remain somebody else's responsibility. What makes this Volkswagen especially admirable is that it represents human creativity under extreme circumstances. Regardless of the difficult historical context surrounding its creation, the engineering achievements remain extraordinary. Few vehicles have demonstrated such versatility while leaving such a lasting impact on automotive history. It reminds us that remarkable machines often emerge when engineers refuse to accept that something cannot be done. Only now do we reach the value of this remarkable survivor. During its production years, the Schwimmwagen was a specialized military vehicle rather than a civilian product, so it did not carry a conventional retail showroom price. Today, however, documented examples are among the most desirable military Volkswagens in existence. This single-family-owned vehicle since 1947 achieved $149,500 at a Bonhams auction, reflecting its outstanding provenance and originality. Well-preserved Schwimmwagens generally sell for substantial six-figure sums depending on authenticity, restoration quality, and historical documentation.